also known as AJ, and we are back with another video. Thank you so much for those that are new, and of course thank you so much for those that are returning back to check out this Brooklyn series. I still haven't come up with a name with it quite yet, or at least at this time I'm recording I haven't come up with a name for it. So if you have any ideas, please be sure to leave them down below in the comments. I'm interested. Definitely has to have something to do with Brooklyn. We are back in the neighborhoods of Brooklyn, as you can see, at the train station, and we are on the hunt for some good matcha. I've been doing a little bit of research, looking around to see different types of matcha places out there, and so we're on the hunt for some good matcha. So the three things I am looking for is, I'm looking for the quality, the bitterness. Definitely, if you're a matcha lover like myself, that is something that we look for. We're definitely also looking for, or trying to figure out about like the sweetness. Is it naturally sweet? Because we know like quality matcha isn't really sweet. So if it's sweetened, you got an issue. And the last thing is creaminess. I love creaminess. It also is a latte, so it has to have creaminess. All of these lattes will of course be made with oat milk because I love oat milk. But stick around and see some of the places I come across in this matcha hunt. I am going to some new neighborhoods I've never been in Brooklyn. This is giving me a great excuse to just travel around Brooklyn. Off the top of my head, I think we're gonna go to Bushwick, Williamsburg, Cobble Hill, Fort Greene, and Dumbo. May end up switching it up, but that's just what I'm thinking of off the top of my head right now. Stick around and see what we find, and of course stay tuned to see what else I find or what I do in this Brooklyn series, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Stop, which is a Lazy Susan, which is located in Bushwick, Brooklyn. This is my first time ever being here. Saw some good reviews online about them, so I thought I would check it out. First time having it, and we're going to try it. This is what it kind of looks like. Matcha is definitely an acquired taste. Some people say it's grassy, earthy. I love matcha. I do prefer it a little sweetened. It's actually pretty good. I will say, I'm not an expert in matcha. I know there's different grades of it depending on where it's from and the quality wise, so I'm more so for taste. But so far for creaminess, definitely has it. I can actually taste the matcha. I feel like if you ever have a matcha and it just does not taste like, have that kind of earthiness to it, what are you gonna matcha for, you know what I mean? It definitely has that. I know this is not sweetened because I asked, so I added a little bit of simple syrup, but that's just simply for my preference because I don't like it too bitter. If you are someone who likes a little bitterness, I would definitely recommend this because it definitely has that. And then I just probably put like a tablespoon of like simple syrup, but so I would definitely give this, I would give it an 8. Starting up good. So we are now in Williamsburg at a place called PPL, I think that's the name of it. I'm not 100% sure, but when I mean this was my vibe, this place is my vibe. There's plants everywhere. It's definitely like just coffee, and then there's a little like decor goods plant store like connected to it. This is like so me. So me. So even if this doesn't taste as good, like just ambiance wise, I would say check it out. It's really pretty, and they have different types of matcha as well. So I do know that there is like matcha, you know, traditional matcha like in Asia is normally made with water. I mean, I am getting a matcha latte, but they do have the option for that, and they do have a few different types of matcha. As I mentioned, I'm just not as much of a connoisseur when it comes to that type of stuff, but I did already spill this a little bit accidentally. clumsy AJ. It's normal. It is what it is, but not much fell out of it. And when it spilled, I had a feeling that it was thick, and it's thick. Ooh, this is so good. It's like, I asked for some sweetener in here, but like minimal sweetener, and it still has that nice like matcha taste to it. I love earthy stuff, and like I said, to each their own, but it's just so creamy, so matcha-y and earthy. And I will also say that it definitely has quite a bit of bitterness to it, but that is matcha, right? I'll have to give this 10 out of 10. I think it's really good. I probably won't even share this on the terrain behind the camera because it's so good. But I would definitely check this out. Like I said, this is in Williamsburg. I'm not sure exactly where it's at in Williamsburg, but it is in Williamsburg, so. Okay, so we're at coffee place number 3, and we're at a place called, I'm looking over there at the name of it, it's called the Coffee Bean, which is located in Fort Greene. Honestly, Fort Greene is so small. Finding a coffee spot in Fort Greene was kind of challenging because I'm not familiar with the area, and it didn't feel like there was so many coffee places to pick from, but we found this place. Also, they had a bathroom that we used, but this outdoor space is very, very nice, even though it's cold outside. Mainly sitting outside because I'm still not at the point where I'm comfortable with recording around a whole bunch of people. Anyways, we came here for the matcha. This wasn't really a place that I looked up. I have matcha. I will say, for this size, it's probably not the most bang for my buck compared to all the other places I've been so far. I did take a sip before I hopped on this camera, and already it's a little too sweet for me. I think they use a sweetened oat milk, and I asked if the matcha was sweetened, and they said it was sweetened as well. So if you're someone who does not really want matcha sweetened, I probably wouldn't recommend this place. But let's go back to my 3 things, right? When it comes to the bitterness and like the flavor wise, I definitely will say it's not as strong of matcha. I think the sweetness kind of overpowers that quite a bit. It definitely is frothy, and not frothy, but it's definitely very creamy, but that's also because it's oat milk. I feel like oat milk makes every latte like very creamy, very rich. And then the last thing, it's sweetened. So yeah, that obviously is gonna affect the like bitterness and all that. But yeah, if you're not into like sweetened matcha, I probably wouldn't recommend this place. I'm gonna probably give it like, I give it a 5. I like sweet, but I don't like my matcha to be overly sweet, so I think it's doing too much for me, even as a person who likes sweeter things or sweeter drinks. I might have to pass on this, but the people here are really nice, and the ambiance is really nice in here. There's a lot of people working here. You can get work done. You can come in this outdoor space. So yeah, there's some other things, but just for the matcha, probably want to get it. But you know, I'm not gonna waste my money because I work hard for it. So between Terrain and I, we will finish this, and I'll see you at location number 4. Location number 4, we are at the Little Sweet Cafe, which is located in, I believe it's considered to be Burham Hill, I think. There was another place I wanted to try, but it was closed, so I've heard good things. I've eaten at a few restaurants over here, and this is on Hoyt Street, near Hoyt and Atlantic. So, got my matcha. It is unsweetened, I know that for sure. Never been there. Let's give it a little... Okay. Let's give it a try. It's good. As you can see, it's very frothy. I will say the only thing is, like, for like weight wise, I feel like there has to be a lot of foam in here because it's just not, it's not heavy. It doesn't feel like there's much in this cup. But earthy, yes. Is it bitter? Yes. Is it sweet? Is it sweetened or unsweetened? It is unsweetened. So you get to control the amount of sugar that you want in here. And of course, it is nice and creamy for the oat milk. I'm curious, because I was just thinking about this now, having had like 4 milks other than oat milk. Like, how do you feel your drinks are in terms of like creaminess, I guess? Just curious, because I feel like I haven't had like a real latte that's not made with like, you know, oat milk in a really long time. So I'm just curious if they still end up nice and frothy and creamy and all that good stuff. But I would say, I couldn't really show much too, like in there, because it was very, very small, like legit, like tiny, and I didn't want to be up in people's faces. But I will say it's very cute. There's nice lights. There's a lot of outdoor seating as well. They make crepes, sweet and savory crepes in there. So if you don't necessarily want matcha, you can get other things there too. But I'd give this a good solid 7. All right, we got one more stop. I feel like I'm gonna be up all night. So one more stop. This one's, I think, the prettiest. That has been all day. Oh, I feel like I should take a picture. All right, last place. Thank God. But prettiest and the sweetest. All right, so we are at Octavia, which is located on Court Street in Cobble Hill. I'm already gonna tell you all, I'm a bit biased because we love Octavia. They are local, small-owned business, and everybody in there is always super, super nice and sweet. They know who we are. And they gave us a free pastry when we went in today. But I don't normally get matcha there. I actually get chai. But I love Octavia. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and try it and see how it tastes. Wow. This one tastes real earthy. And I asked for a little bit of sweetener in here. This is like, if you want like real matcha, hell yeah. This is it. It is, I need a little sweetness just for my personal like preference. It's just a little too bitter for me, but you can tell like this is green, almost as like green as it gets. So unsweetened obviously because it's bitter AF. But creamy, we got you covered. I would say from my, like as a personal preference, because I like it sweeter, I'd probably give this like a 6. But if you are like a real matcha connoisseur and you really like just like that real earthy greenness, grassiness, I would give it like a good 8 or 9. So just all a matter of personal preference. But this is our last location, and thank God, because it's getting freezing out here, and yeah, I just it's hard for me to get myself in the house. But again, stay tuned for more videos like this. I have a few kind of ideas in my head going forward for some future videos, and like always, love you all so much and thank you all for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. You're annoying.